How's it going, people, and welcome back to the project. So we're in for a pull session today. Things that have changed since last time, we have started pulling down in terms of food now. So I'm already just over a kilo down. My highest weigh-in of the beginning of prep was around 80 kilos. I'm down to 78.2 as of this morning, so things are shifting nicely. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to starting to dig in a little bit now. We are 15 weeks out from the prep. So things are kind of starting to pick up pace a little bit more. I've actually got a holiday booked about halfway through prep. So we had a sort of diet break around that halfway point. So I decided just to get a nice little holiday booked, going to Kefalonia, which would be lovely. So we've got a nice kind of 7-week period up until the holiday to push. A week almost diet break, recovery, come back. We've then got 6 weeks up until the shoot, and then we'll be ready to rock. So let's get into the pull session. See if this mixes properly this time. Hey. Appropriate mug. Don't have too much. Yeah. I literally hardly drink coffee either. But it means that when I do have caffeine, it just absolutely blows my head off, which is nice. So session today, we're starting out on a dumbbell row, incorporating some spinal flexion extension into that. We're then going to move into a T-bar row, which is kind of the main loading movement of this session. Getting nice and strong on that now. I actually had it out of the program for quite a while, but Cal put it back in, which is nice. We're then going into a single arm cable lat pull down on the Bravo, some rear delts, and then some biceps. So I actually went over this on an Instagram post the other week. Just a bit of a change in thought process around setting up this exercise. So most of the time I'm seeing people hang over the top of the bench like this and then try and perform some flexion extension, but it's just not comfortable at all to be curving over this. So if you grab yourself a couple of bits, so if you have a curved ab mat like this, some sort of block, or you can use like a folded up yoga mat just to give that a little bit more height, and then some sort of band just to attach it to the bench itself. And then just place that on, loop the band around the bench, and just use that to hold the block in place. And that then gives us a nice kind of surface to work off of here. So we can sit down, stay nice and stable, and then curve over this pad, extend off of it, and then retract. So at Halo we've got the Watson dumbbells, but they've got the fat grips on them as well, which makes them a bastard to grip onto, so we'll be getting these guys on. I bought these years ago. They're the Cobra Grips, basically at a time where I didn't want to spend 70, 80 quid or whatever it is on Versa grips, so I bought these, and they've literally lasted me so long. I don't think I'll ever have to get rid of them. But I don't think you get them anymore. Limited edition. Oh, weird things about this exercise is you can't fucking breathe. Oh, that was good. Up to 40s on there now, nice PB. We're not thinking about training the lat here. That's a kind of common misconception on this exercise, especially with the angle that I have this bench set up. If you look at the upper arm path as I go through that movement, we're actually driving up into elevation, and that lat wants to drive my upper arm kind of down and around, not up in this direction. So the lat's likely getting a little bit more length in that sort of position. We're thinking more so about just training all of those guys that extend the spine and all of the guys that then retract the shoulder blades in that kind of upwards trajectory. So we're talking kind of mid upper trap, as well as all the extensors there as well, as I said. Got my new Trained by JP bag. Just spent the weekend up in Manchester with the boys for the pro coach / no switch fitness seminar, which is awesome. It's good to meet a lot of people there that I haven't met in real life, and it's a really good thing about social media itself. You get to kind of know people over that platform, but you could spend years without actually seeing them. So got to meet some familiar faces, and obviously spend the weekend supporting the boys as well, which is good. And yeah, we've got some free shit as well, which is always good. That's dumbbell spinal extension done. We're now on to T-bar rows. Spoke a little bit about warm-ups last time, and just in terms of the way that I run things when warming up, especially for a big loaded set like this, is almost like a inverse model between the load that you're using and the reps that you're using. So we might start off at, let's say, 40-50% of the load that you're going to use for that top set. For easy maths, let's say you're using 100 kilos, so you're going to start off at about 50. You might then, with that 50 kilos, perform 8-10 reps, something like that, super light. And then if you take up, let's say, a 20% increment each time, go to 70 kilos, I'm then going to decrease the amount of reps that I do, just to make sure that we are avoiding fatigue completely as we're warming up. I see so many people go up in load and just continue to do 8-10 reps on every single one. You're just then going to take away from that top set. Whereas by warming up properly, you should be adding to that top set and getting your body in the perfect position to lift as much load possible. So by doing that kind of inverse model, start low weight, higher reps, decrease the amount of reps as you go up in weight. And by this last warm up, I'm going to literally do 1 or 2 reps and then I'm ready. And then we'll go for that working set. Try and get 7, maybe 8 on my own, and then just one forced. That's how we work. 3, 2, 1. Yep. Yep. Tell me when. Come on. Get it up. 1. Yep. Cheers, man. That's good. I think when 1 rep up on there on my own and then another additional spot there as well. Happy with that. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Almost find back offs harder than top sets. I'm fine loading a heavy set, 6, 7, 8 reps. Get me over 10, I'm gassed. Oh. So next up, we have the single arm lat pull down. We've got the privilege of having a Cybex Bravo. Not only one, we've got two. And the free motion cables here, we're blessed with the cable selection, but the advantage of this machine is the adjustability in terms of the positioning of the cables themselves, so they not only go up and down, but you can rotate them around here as well. Number two, we've got this chest pad that extends out and you can use as a support. And number three, the ratio of this cables is a 2:1, and that essentially means that if I pull this cable out by 1 meter, that stack only moves 1/2 meter, meaning that the weight is moving less of a distance than we are, meaning that that load essentially carries less momentum as we go through, so we can actually move with a little bit more speed safely without actually taking away from the amount of kind of tension that we're experiencing at any extreme of that range. I said I had these for years, and you could tell if you smelt them. Let's give them a wash. Yes. You'll notice there how I didn't just stop the set when I couldn't reach that fully shortened position. We're going to be weakest here in fatigue here first, but we do have a lot more left in the tank in that kind of length into mid-range, so if you can recover from doing that sort of partial reps to finish the set, then you may as well, just to make sure that you are fatiguing that full range as much as possible. Come on. Oh, yes. Right, on to the last back movement. Actually forgot to mention at the beginning, we have a single arm seated row machine. We've got the Cybex Eagle here to work with. It's got that next. But you hate it when you look back in the logbook and you actually did really well last week, and now you got to beat it. I thought I was on like 210. Stronger than I thought. Right, come on then. One. That was heavy. Yeah, I'll go one more. Have a little rest.
That was 9, wasn't it?
8 plus 1, wasn't it? Yeah. One. Oh, fuck. Oh. Cheers, bro. Cheers, man. Oh. Oh, fuck. Ooh. It's back done. Got a bit of rear delts now, onto biceps, and then that's a wrap. These straps are really useful to have in your gym bag. I'm always getting asked where they're from, so that is the brand. They're just from Amazon. They do loads of different lengths. These ones are pretty long, but the benefit of them basically just allows us to create a scenario where any exercise where these cables are crossing over, you then have a nice smooth surface for them to run against. If you don't use them, then these kind of clips and the ball at the end just kind of clang together and just don't create a nice smooth movement. So there's that. Also, we can use them to adjust the range of the start position of the exercise. So for kind of 10 to 15 quid, it's well worth getting some. It's really nice variation, this. So it's almost like a hybrid between a traditional fly and a row. So we're almost starting out in that position whereby that rear delt's going to be kind of in a mid to slightly lengthened range. We can bring the upper arm slightly across the body there. They're almost thinking out initially, and then we're going to row down into the rear delts. From a profile perspective, I'm setting this cable up so that it's at a right angle or just less at this top position. So if I come here, we can see that that's coming off about a right angle, just open from that, so it's going to drop off slightly here. As we come through, it's going to be heaviest here, and then as I row down, you can see that cable gets a lot closer to the shoulder. As I said last time on the cable fly variation, that moment arm to the shoulder, and thus the amount of challenge that we experience in that bottom position drops off nicely and allows us to create a good amount of fatigue right through that range by matching where the exercise is heavy and light to where we're strongest and weak. So give it a go. It's a bit of an awkward one to kind of get into initially, but once you're used to it, it's really good. Starting to see so many more people visit Halo now and just travel here, which is nice. Starting to get the credit the place deserves, because the kit in here is insane. So if you haven't been, come down. That's those done. And we got a high cable preacher curl variation on the cables, and then a low cable curl to finish. It's a bit like just training my biceps. So thought process here is that we're training the upper dorsimus. So this is a brilliant exercise, the upper dorsimus. This. Comment below where that reference is from. So jokes aside, thought process here is that we're training the bicep in a little bit more of a shortened range. We know that the bicep crosses both the elbow and the shoulder as well. So we can actually shorten the bicep by going into some flexion at the shoulder and then reaching that kind of fully flexed position at the elbow. So here we're bringing us into that range, just using the bench as a nice support and then using the cable to actually place tension there, and again we can create a scenario where it drops off in that shorter range nicely. We get very, very weak here, so I want that basically nothing here. Oh, fuck. Oh, longest rep of my life. One more. So 5 guys comes to some as well, it's just I start dieting. It's not good, is it? Post shoot. Say again? I'm warming up. Calm bit. Ooh. One set and we're done. Last tip of the day. I'll chuck in one more. So, cables wise in terms of setup, try and set them at an angle whereby as you curl through, that cable matches the angle in which your elbow naturally wants to curl through. So we have something known as a carry angle, whereby as I curl through, my hands start fairly wide, then actually naturally come in. So we want to set the cables up to be in alignment with that same path. We'll do a quick little physique update. I didn't do one last time, so this is basically the start point of prep. So let's take a look at how we're looking. Not too bad of a set point. I think condition's good. We've also got a lot to come off, but I'll update you every kind of few weeks in terms of how we're looking, and we'll go from there. Sweet, so that session done. Really good session in the books. I've always enjoyed training pull itself. It's been a fairly kind of strong body part of mine, in my own opinion, but I just do really enjoy training that. So it's a tough session with 4 big movers for back, but yeah, another one ticked off. Really good progression still at this stage, and the next session we're filming will be legs, which would be cool. First session on legs on this channel. So the main mover on that day will be pendulum, which will be fun. Thank you for the support that you've all shown so far. It's been amazing, and as always, let me know in the comments below what you're thinking of the series so far. Do all that YouTuber stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.